Welcome to another segment of Dev Dispatch's Top 5 of the Week. And today, I am excited to introduce you to 5 global development publications. So let's get into it. Every year, on the 23rd of June, the UN celebrates Public Service Day, and tomorrow is no exception. This year's theme is Innovating the Future Public Service, New Government Models for a New Era to Reach the SDGs. With that as inspiration, my first recommendation is a short piece from UNCTAD on innovative approaches for the implementation of the SDGs. In 4 chapters, the publication presents new and emerging innovation approaches, explains the need for new innovation approaches, highlights 5 new approaches to innovation, and proposes concrete policy considerations for government and other stakeholders to strengthen capabilities for harnessing such new innovation approaches for sustainable development. I move on to the subject of drug abuse and drug trafficking, and for those working in that space, I am recommending the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crimes 2020 World Drug Report. This report consists of 6 mini booklets which document the extent of and trends in drug abuse, the latest estimates and trends in the production, supply, and trafficking of drugs, a number of cross-cutting issues driving drug abuse and trafficking, the association between socioeconomic characteristics and drug abuse orders, and a number of other drug policy issues that all form part of the international debate on the drug problem. If you don't have the time to read all 6 booklets, Booklet 1 really provides a summary of the 5 subsequent booklets by reviewing their key findings and highlighting their policy implications. Lest I forget, 26 June is International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. On the AFCFTA, the Moroccan think tank Policy Center for the New South, PCNS, published a policy paper that argues that Africa's integration is not an option, but an imperative. This paper uses the example of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, OECS, to show how regional integration brought by the AFCFTA helps states that are at a disadvantage of small size, small domestic markets, high production costs, and insufficient skill sets to pool resources together and increase growth and economic prosperity. Next on my list to be highlighted today is UN Women's Women, Peace and Security Annual Report for last year. This report documents the work of UN Women in 6 action areas, which are: number 1, ensuring women are decision makers in economic recovery processes; 2, protecting women human rights defenders and civil society in conflict situations; 3, boosting financing for women, peace and security; 4, putting more women in uniform in UN police and peacekeeping operations; 5, guaranteeing women's meaningful participation in peace processes; and finally, at 6, generating and making available more data, evidence and analysis on women, conflict and peace. The report also takes a look at the progress made in the previous year, as well as how attitudes and norms have shifted since 1995, when the Agenda on Women, Peace and Security was first established. My final recommendation is on COVID-19 because it is very much still with us, and it looks at the implications and responses of the pandemic on digital transformation and industrial recovery. The COVID-19 pandemic has managed to affect every facet of our lives, including digital transformation, and middle and low-income countries have been affected the most in their implementation of industrialization strategies, particularly digital industrialization. Despite being a hindrance to digital transformation, the pandemic has only strengthened the need for accelerated digital transformation, as the digital sector has played an integral role in overcoming the effects of the pandemic. And that is it from me to you this week. I've got something for everyone, I think, but if not, I have other recommendations, so check out our YouTube channel. Till next week, stay safe, everyone.